Hello, today's Bible study comes from the book of Galatians, chapter 1, verses 11 through 17, and reads as follows. I want you to know, brothers and sisters, that the gospel I preach is not of human origin. I did not receive it from any man, nor was I taught it. Rather, I received it by revelation from Christ. For you have heard of my previous way of life in Judaism, how intensely I persecuted the church of God and tried to destroy it. I was advancing in Judaism beyond many of my own age among my people, and was extremely zealous for the traditions of my fathers. But when God, who set me apart from my mother's womb and called me by his grace, was pleased to reveal his son in me so that I might preach him among the Gentiles, my immediate response was not to consult any human being. I did not go up to Jerusalem to see those who were apostles before I was, but I went into Arabia. Later I returned to Damascus. Well, in this passage, Paul starts talking about himself being called, and he says, brothers and sisters, this is information for you. The gospel that I speak on, that I teach on, and I just got done telling you about the false gospel, the other gospel I preached is not of human origin. It's not from man. And he says it right in verse 12 next. I did not receive it from any man. And then he says, nor was I taught it. Uh-oh. Rather, it was revealed to me. He says, rather, I received it by revelation from Jesus Christ. So he's saying it was revealed to him. And he says it. And so Paul says, hey, I understand it because of my relationship with it. Paul said everybody else heard the gospel from someone else. And that's how the Lord communicates it in a lot of ways and a lot of times. And you can see that. But Paul says, my situation wasn't the same. And how was it different? Well, I had a revelation. And his revelation, and we all know Paul on the road to Damascus, he had it revealed to him. And you can see that back in the book of Acts. We all know what happened on the road to Damascus and everything. So Paul had a revelation. It was like brought to him. And then he says, hey, look, you heard of my previous way of life in Judaism. Paul says, I had a belief, I had a way of life that I was doing. He says, how intensely, and remember, Paul was zealous about what he did, how intensely I persecuted the church of God, and he tried to destroy it. He says, I was advancing in Judaism. He was climbing beyond many of my own age among my people and was extremely zealous. There goes the word zealous for the traditions of my fathers, lowercase f. See, he says I was doing what man, the man part, the lowercase f, man's ways. Excuse me. Remember, Paul was on the road to Damascus to do something then, if you remember. But when God, who set me apart from my mother's womb, he acknowledging God, who set me apart from my mother's womb and called me by his grace. By his grace, Paul received it by his grace. Was pleased to reveal, so that gift of grace that we all need was pleased to reveal his son. God was pleased to reveal his son in me so that I might preach him. Paul said that so that I might preach him among the Gentiles. My immediate response was not to consult any human being. No need. He had just received it by God. Why would he have to consult anybody? I did not go up to Jerusalem to see those who were apostles before I was. He said, I didn't go see the apostles. He went to Arabia. And later, he says he returned to Damascus. But Paul was just saying, hey, when Jesus revealed himself to him, it was a totally different revelation. It was a totally different way of getting the word. We get to hear it and share it. Paul said, I got it revealed to me. And he said, I didn't go see man about this. He said, I did not talk to them. See, he didn't need to because, as he said, the gospel was revealed to him, directly to him. Not indirectly, but directly. He had an intervention. He had a revelation from the Lord. So he said, I didn't need to do that. And Paul wasn't knocking down any of the apostles. What he is really telling you is that he didn't preach a gospel that came from man. This was revealed to him. And he didn't receive it from any man. This was revealed to him. It was given to him. And then he says he went to Arabia. Paul had done what he was supposed to do when he got the message. He didn't consult man. He knew that he had it. There was no need to go to any other source. He came from the source. He received it from the source. So he did his thing. And so he said, look, guess what? After his time, maybe 2, 3 years, Paul said, I didn't learn the gospel from the apostles. And this was true because he was a Christian before he met the other apostles, before he met Peter and James. And he wasn't commanded to appear before him or anything. Paul had a revelation. And his revelation was that he was called by God. He had the gospel revealed to him through his revelation. Amen.